Here's the deal. Do not buy a 2022 Chevrolet Silverado refreshed 1500 series truck until you watch this video, because I have some new information for you that you may not have already seen, and you probably have not already seen. And if you're looking at possibly getting into a Chevrolet Silverado custom trail boss, you're definitely going to want to watch this video. So stay tuned and let's get going. All right, so as promised in my last video where I talked about some of the new things coming for the 2022 refreshed GMC Sierra trucks, today I want to do the same in regards to the Chevrolet Silverado lineup, pardon me. And as I mentioned off the top of the video, stay tuned, because in this video, I'm going to talk to you custom Trail Boss potential owners about an awesome new option that you're able to get this year in that truck that we haven't been able to get in the past. And so, as I said at the start of this video, obviously there's lots of videos, including what I've done myself, in terms of what's coming out and what changes are happening for the 2022 refresh Silverados. And, you know, we're talking about things like the 13.4-inch color touchscreen in front of the driver. We're talking, or pardon me, a color touchscreen, the 12.3-inch color touchscreen in front of the driver, the new trim level of the ZR2 off-road variant with the multi-pro or multimatic DSSV suspension, the, you know, locking differentials, the whole different look, the higher cut up front end, you know, different tires, different wheels, all that kind of stuff. But that is not what we're going to talk about today, because I'm sure that a lot of you are already aware, or again, you can check out my prior videos. What I want to talk about today is there's an ordering guide that's finally come out for these new trucks. And before I get too far in this, speaking of ordering the 2022 refresh trucks, I still don't have a specific date as of time of this video, but we are supposed to be able to order them sometime this month, which is December of 2021. The builds will be starting, again, as long as everything goes according to plan, in February of 2022, with spring delivery for the very first of those trucks coming out. But what I did find, again, was the build options for the 2022 refresh trucks, and there's some changes that they haven't mentioned, that aren't publicized so much yet, that I think many of you may be interested in, and might sway your decision whether you want to get a current 2021 or 2022 limited, or if you really do want to wait for that 2022 refresh truck. So with that, let's get going and start talking about some of the things that I found out. And first and foremost, one of the things I found out may or may not be a big deal to some of you, but push button start is going to be available on every single trim level. Yes, that means the work truck, that means the custom Trail Boss, and all the way up are all going to carry the push button start, which we didn't see in the past, because of course your custom Trail Boss and your custom and the work truck, those trucks only had your key start, which also would lend myself to believe it's going to obviously have the keyless entry. And as I just mentioned moments ago, I'm sure many of you are aware that we are going to have, of course, that larger touchscreen and the larger full digital display in front of the driver. Now, what we're finding right now is that, or what I've found and what I can see, is that is going to be a standard feature. So that 13.4 color touchscreen, the full digital display in front of the driver are going to be standard in every single truck from the LT and above. So your LT, your Trail Boss, your ZR2, the High Country, LTZ, all those are going to carry the new technology in there. So your WT, your custom Trail Boss is still going to utilize the old style touchscreens and the old style driver information center in front of the driver. And so I know the next question you're probably asking, which is something I got more comments on than almost anything in all these videos in regards to the new trucks, is, Jeff, what models are going to come with the column shifter? What models are going to come with the electric console shift, by the way, obviously a new feature? Is the console shift going to be in every truck, and so on? Now, what I'm finding, and this is from what I've seen so far, in terms of the electric console shift, it is going to be a standard feature. So you do not have an option, which means that this is going to come with bucket seats in these trucks on the ZR2, the LTZ, and the High Country. You have no option but to get the electric center console shift, which I like, but again, everybody has their own philosophy on it. Everybody's using the truck for different reasons. Now, that being said, there are trucks you do have the option to get either the console shift or sticking with our, traditional column shifter. Now, of course, what's going to happen is if you do want the column shifter, obviously, if you want the console shift, let's go that way, you're going to have to get bucket seats. Of course, there's no way around that. If you are going to get the column shifter, there is no option. You are going to get the bench seat, all right? And the optional trucks that you can get that on are the LT, the RST, and the LT Trail Boss. So those three trim levels, the LT, RST, LT Trail Boss, you can get either the column shift or the console shift, depending on what type of interior you're going to get. And we're going to talk about interiors here a little bit further in the video in terms of bucket seats, leather, all that colors, all that kind of stuff. So that obviously also means that rules out the fact that WT, Custom and Custom Trail Boss have no other option except for the column shift. You do not have the opportunity to get into the console shift in any of those three models. But let's back up for one more second. One thing I neglected to talk about when I was talking about that touchscreen is there is one more availability for an option that we've had in our higher trim levels in the past, but have not had the opportunity to have in our mid trim levels or above, and that is the ability to have surround vision cameras in your mid-trim level truck. So of course, your ZR2, your LTZ, your High Country, that's going to have the availability or will be standard in certain ones of those trims, the surround vision camera. But you are now able to get it as an option also in the LT, the RST, or the LT Trail Boss, which is a pretty cool feature. Not only that, of course, but that's also going to have the availability to have the trailer provision cameras as well as options depending on what trim or what packages you get in those specific trim levels. And speaking of trailering, we also have a new feature now that is going to be available. It's called Trailer Side Blind Zone Alert. What I mean by new is because it's new in the lower trim levels as well. This is going to be standard on the ZR2, LTZ, and High Country, and it's available with the LT, RST, and LT Trail Boss. So the Trailer Side Blind Zone Alert is available in those trim levels as well. Sticking with the safety story, there's a couple more things I want to talk about. First and foremost, there is a new Safety Assist package. They call it the Safety Assist package, available on every single, it's a standard feature on every single trim level from the WT all the way up to the High Country. And I'm going to list off 6 things that it comes with. It first of all comes with auto emergency braking, front pedestrian braking, lane keep assist with lane departure warning, following distance indicator, forward collision alert, and my favorite, IntelliBeam headlights are finally a standard feature, which I think they should have been years ago, but an awesome feature that automatically puts the high beams off or on, depending on, you know, if there's somebody in front of you or if it's dark enough, you know, whatever it is. So you don't have to worry about turning it off and on. And actually what I find is it actually has them on more often than you would normally because you would forget to maybe turn them on, which just increases, you know, the safety, right? Also, we have a new feature called rear cross traffic braking. Now, so of course, in the past, if you're not already aware, we had something called rear cross traffic alert, which would alert you if you're backing out of, let's say, a parking spot. You can't see who's coming from east to west because you have two bigger vehicles. And as you're pulling out on the back side or back corner, you have radars that'll alert you if somebody's coming. All it would do before would either vibrate the seat or beep, depending on, of course, the year of vehicle you had. Now what's going to happen is it will actually brake for you to save you in those situations. Now, this rear cross traffic braking is going to be standard on the ZR2, LTZ, and High Country, but the cool part is it is also going to be available with the WT, LT, RST, and LT Trail Boss. Pardon me, no, it's going to be available with the LT, RST, LT Trail Boss, and I didn't read that it was available with the Custom or the Custom Trail Boss or potentially the WT, but it's going to be available at least in those mid-trim levels and above. Another little thing I noticed is we now have, and we did in the past, but now we have the power steering column is going to be a standard feature on the LTZ and High Country, and it's going to be an option on the ZR2. So that power column, which is great because that'll work in conjunction with the memory seat feature as well. And one of the coolest features, of course, that we are now introducing to the trucks this year, and we did it on the GMC Sierras as well, is going to be the option for Super Cruise and the ability to trailer with Super Cruise, our semi-autonomous driving. If you're not aware of that, there's got some other videos out there of that, but it is going to be an option and only an option on the High Country trim level. So LTZ and below, unfortunately, that is not going to be an option, at least as of this time. Still a few more things I do want to get to, but first and foremost, as I promised, I did want to talk about one item, one feature, one thing that's changed even since I've done a video about this earlier in regards to the Custom Trail Boss. The 2022 Custom Trail Boss refresh, are you ready for this? Is going to finally offer the 3-liter Duramax turbo diesel. Yes, they finally did it with the LT Trail Boss this year for the 2022 Limited, and for the 2022 refresh, the Custom Trail Boss is going to be having the option to have the 3-liter Duramax turbo diesel. I'm very excited. I know there's many of you out there right now that are excited as well. As I mentioned, I did a video on all the engine choices a while ago, and at the time, it wasn't listed, it wasn't mentioned. So this is something I think has changed. Maybe as General Motors and Chevrolet have been really looking at the comment section of many videos like people like myself, or just in general online, that the Duramax is getting more and more attention as more people are aware of it and have had the opportunity to drive it, and doesn't make sense, or sorry, it does make so much sense to have it now in the custom Trail Boss as an option. So now I do want to talk a little bit about exterior colors, because we have 3 new ones I've talked about in the videos in the past, but you may not be aware of this. Right now we are going to have what they call the dark ash metallic. I have yet to see that color other than maybe on, you know, a Malibu in the past. I think there was the very similar color. We're going to have sand dune metallic, which of course we have seen. We see that on the Colorado ZR2, or the Colorados in general. Now, and we also have glacier blue metallic. Now, we have seen that color in the past on Colorados as well, but of course, all those pictures you've been seeing of the ZR2 Silverado, pardon me, that they just released a couple months ago, that is going to be that color. Obviously, it looks sharp on that truck, and I can imagine it looks great on some others. And I'm really excited to see what the sand dune is going to look like on potentially, you know, a ZR2 or a Trail Boss as well. And then, as I mentioned, I do want to talk about the interior of these trucks really, really quickly, just so you know some of the options. When it comes to the interior, for the WT, you're going to have cloth or vinyl, bench only, and black only are the colors. If we get to the LT, RST, and LT Trail Boss, we're looking at leather or cloth, bench or bucket, and you have 2 different color options, being the jet black or the Gideon with the dark atmosphere. Now, when we bump up to the ZR2, it gets a little bit different, because the ZR2 is only going to offer one option on the inside. Your only availability is bucket seats. Again, we talked about that earlier with the console shift, and leather, of course, and only one leather color option, which they are calling jet black with gray stone is the only option there. Now, when we go up past that to the LTZ, buckets, and leather only are your choices there, and you can get, again, the jet black or the Gideon dark atmosphere color. And then we get up to the high country, though, there is buckets and leather only again, of course. Jet black is the one color, and I don't know if you've seen pictures of this, but I have, and it looks really cool. I guess it depends on the exterior color of the truck, and if you just want something a bit different. There's a new color called jet black with night shift blue, which I think it looks pretty trick, and again, on a certain, maybe not with a red truck with the blue interior, I don't know, but definitely looks really cool. Listen, anyways, this is you know, some of the things I've learned, and I thought that I wanted to bring your way. So especially if you are looking at getting a new Silverado, I want you to see this video before you make your decision. And I talked about it at the start of the video. Hopefully you'll be able to order these very, very soon. Now, stay tuned for my next video, where I am going to be talking about the Hummer EV, its tow capacity, battery range, some new information we've learned on that as well. But anyways, until next time, everybody, thanks so much for watching. Take care.